If you would like to become a patron, click the link in the description below. What is up, disc golfers? Disc golf is back. Today on Iceberg TV, I want to help get you guys excited for the Dynamic Discs Open. So we were supposed to have the GBO canceled this year, but in my mind, this is the same thing as far as a spectator goes. I know as someone who is going to the event, it's not the same. But as far as us who are just watching the event and just are going to be watching the coverage, it's the same thing to us. So I'm really glad that it's happening. We're going to see all of our favorite pros back. We got, the Simon, Eagle, Paul, Philo, World Champ, Greg Barsby, Conrad. We have all of our exciting players back on the course together, duking it out to see who's the best. I want to give my prediction as to who I think is going to win. And then I also want to go over some of the discs that are coming out and just got PDGA approved that I'm actually really excited about. So my top 3 picks to win this event. Originally, I was going to say Simon Lizotte, but he's been having elbow pain from making all those YouTube videos and doing all those challenges, and he's been complaining about it for like the last month on YouTube. He keeps saying he can't throw sidearms, he can't throw hard, and who knows, maybe that'll bring Simon back to earth and make him play a little bit safer. I think a lot of times he gets himself in trouble when the cameras get on him and the bright lights of lead card are on, and all of a sudden he starts trying to do crazy things to appease the fans. And, a lot of people love Simon for that, but maybe him being injured will help him actually play higher rated rounds because he's forced to play more conservatively. But the only way to know is to watch, and I don't think Simon will come in the top 3 in this event. But I think Paul McBeth is going to wrap up 3rd place. And then I think Eagle McMahon is going to win. And then I think 2nd place could be anybody, really. I think Colton Montgomery could sneak up and take a 2nd place. I think Ricky's a good pick. He seems to be in really high spirits. He's looking really good. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Eagle McMahon to win the event. I'm going to pick Ricky in 2nd, and I'm going to pick Paul in 3rd. And that is a little bit cliche because they are just like the top 3 players in the world. But I genuinely think that this course is going to play in the favor of those guys. They can throw those big hyzers with stable discs in the wind, and they've been there before, and they're hungry and they're energetic and they're excited. Paul is really hungry to win because he's still coming off that injury. Ricky's coming off Lyme, and then Eagle's coming off his hand injury as well. I don't want everyone to forget about when he broke his hand. So I do think Eagle is going to win this event. I can't wait to follow up with you guys. This event is going to be from the 26th to the 28th. It's going to be a great time. Can't wait to watch the coverage. And now let's talk about some of these new discs that came out that I'm really excited for. So we have the Rhino X. So the Rhino is something that we see Calvin Heimberg throw. I think he throws a luster plastic Rhino. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him throw a Rhino X or add one to his bag because it's going to be even more stable than his Rhino. And he seems to be fond of those discs that are just very, very overstable. So the Rhino X is going to be the exact same thing as the Rhino, but it's just going to have a bead on the bottom. So anytime you see that X from Innova, it's going to mean that that disc is going to be the same version of the other disc. It's just going to be a beaded version, which usually will make it more stable. All right, guys, so the next disc that I want to talk about that I'm really excited about is the Kastaplast Svea. So this disc is going to be something that their lineup really needs. It's going to be a disc that is going to fulfill between that putter and between that fairway slot for them. It's going to be a 4 or 5 speed, and it's very similar to the Innova Mako. The profile is very similar. All the dimensions look about the same. They don't have a picture of the Mako up here on the PDGA website, but all the dimensions are like very, very close to one another. So diameter 21.9, 21.7. Height's the same. Rim depth 1.4, 1.3, rim thickness 1.3, and then this one's 1.4 and 1.2, and then inside rim diameter 19.3. So it's essentially extremely similar, except it's going to be, and obviously in Kastaplast plastic, but this is a disc that they really needed in their lineup because they do have the Yota, or the GOAT as the Americans would call it. And it just is a very awkward feeling mid-range with, it's just sort of a glidey, unpredictable beaded mid. And my experience with the Yota was that I have a first run one that's really good, and the flight was really stable and consistent. But I had a white one and I had a green one, and they were just like, if you put them on a hyzer, they're really stable, but if you put them flat, they're like crazy understable and they won't have any stability to them. It was a bit weird, and I don't think I'm the only one who thinks that. So this is something that they really needed in their lineup, was just that like essential workhorse mid. So hopefully these come out. Hopefully they have some flatter ones. I'd really be interested in bagging one of these, because then it'd be very similar to like an MD3 or Mako 3. So the MD3 and the Mako 3 are two of the best mids that exist in my opinion. So I'm really hoping Kastaplast produces some of these and they're a little bit more flat, because you can see this one looks like really domey, which I don't love. Hopefully it's not too understable. So yeah, looks very similar to the Mako. Now the other disc comparison that I want to do is the Innova Invader. So the Innova Invader is a low profile, looks to be beadless putter. It's just going to be a straight flyer. The flight numbers look like they are 2201 as far as this picture goes, and it's very similar to the Discraft Roach. So the Roach is going to be that flat top, low profile, beadless putter that's going to be good for those inside the circle putts and those straight fairway shots. The Invader looks very similar to me as far as the shape goes. The pictures were taken at two different angles, but you can really see how flat this is, and then you can tell how flat or even concave the Roach is. And then you can also see, again, low profile and beadless on both departments. So I'm really excited to see the Innova Invader, and I'd really like to be able to test one of these out. Leave it in the comment section down below who you think is going to win the DDO. I got my boy Eagle winning this thing. I think he's going to crush it. I think he's going to shoot at least one round that's almost 1100 rated, and I think it's going to get him a big enough lead to win by a couple of strokes over Paul or Ricky. Now, also leave it in the comment section down below if you're excited to see some of our favorite pros throwing some of these new discs. Hopefully we see them in the DDO. I'd be really happy to see someone bagging a Rhino X or an Invader, and then we definitely won't see anyone throwing the new Kastaplast quite yet, unless somehow Charlie Goodpasture sneaks in there. But anyway, become a patron if you want. The link is in the description below. Thank you for watching. This is Iceberg TV, and take care.